Shane, congratulations, well done on your award. We'll be having a quick word with Shane now in a second, but I'd also like to thank Dermot Gilleese. Dermot, a round of applause for Dermot. He's the father of the Irish journalist and always a great source of counsel and advice. Thank you very much, Dermot. Now, the theme of the evening, more or less, has been the fact that we're so lucky to have the professional golfers that we actually have. We can't choose them, we have to put up with what we get, and in fairness, they're a really, really good group of lads. There is no doubt about that. We're actually losing one. Damien McGrane decided to call it a day after the Portugal Masters, after a distinguished career. And Damien, I'd like you to join us if you wouldn't mind, just up on the stage. And maybe Peter, you're sitting there beside Damien, you could both join us just for a quick chat. Thank you very much. Damien, you decided to, as you, in your own words, leave it to the younger lads after the Portugal Masters, but you did your best to reverse your decision almost at Q School.
I don't think so, but you know, the golf has been very good to me. I started late, and I achieved, considering I set out with low expectations, and my talent brought me on a whirlwind tour from Wexford Golf Club onto the Challenge Tour and onto the main tour. So my golf brought me places that I probably never expected I wanted to go to. And then when I got there, I realised the money was much better and things were pretty good. So, you know, that's how it really happened. I enjoyed it for when it lasted, and it was very good to me. And now that I've come to the second stage of my life, you know, I've great things involved, and I have a lot of joy in my life, and my girlfriend Mary, and we have it pretty good at the moment, apart from Shane. But Wendy, keep an eye on him. But you know, it's been great. I've enjoyed it all. The sports writers have been kind to me, and I think we all realised where I came from and what I expected from the game. And like when I was club pro in Wexford, the members thought I was the only millionaire they ever knew. So you know, I in my own little world, I was treated like a king, and at that time I enjoyed it. And we're all here tonight, and you know, our legacy will be to leave golf in a better state than we found it, and pass it on to the next generation. And that's our duty as players, and that's our duty as sports writers. So and golf coaches. To leave it better for people to come along behind us. And I think that so far we've all done a pretty good job.
Thanks for You certainly distinguished yourself over your career, Damien, and I don't know, yourself and Peter have always been the best buddies out on tour, and I don't know how much you realise you're actually joined at the hip, because we were looking at the actual stats in terms of what you both achieved over your career so far. You both have 11 top fives, you both had 4 second place finishes, you both won a tournament, and that was in 2008. You won the Volvo Open and Peter won the Spanish Open, and you both reached your highest point in the world rankings around 2010. So you could throw a blanket also over your earnings. So it's uncanny really, Peter, you've been so close down through the years.
There's definitely one difference. There wasn't a McGrane travel, there was a Lawrie travel. But yeah, myself and Damien have had a very good run. I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel just yet. But yeah, look, you know, we met one day in Switzerland. I didn't know Damien from Adam, to be honest with you, and we sparked off a friendship of a margarita pizza and a glass of wine, and in those Challenge Tour days, Damien, and it's progressed. And look, you know, we all are a pretty much a family out there. You know, Porrick did the same to me in my first year. Poor old Paul there. I just to let you know, I was there that night, and my credit card actually came out second last, just in case you're wondering. But my first year out on tour, it was in Taiwan. It was one of my first ever tournaments actually on the European tour, and Porrick brought me out with Paul McGinley, and I'll never let the lads forget this story. Damien says he knows it off by heart because I've told it so many times. But you know, in those days, it wasn't credit card roulette. It was like who disappeared before the bill arrived. You know what I mean? So that was McGinley, all right, and but Harrington as well. Harrington as well. So look, you know, those were the days. We had some fun, and a long way at last.
Absolutely. And Peter, you mentioned, you know, you've had trouble with your wrist, you problems with tendonitis, but you're going to overcome those, and you're going to go back out and play a few tournaments later in the year.
Well, I think the first time I've ever taken actually I haven't hit a shot in 8 weeks, and I actually never been really injured in my career. I'm 41 years of age. I'd say my wife would love to kick me out the door back to tournament golf. I'm under her feet around the house, trying to reorganise things my way rather than her way. So yeah, look, you know what I mean. I'll get back practicing and we get back to it. It'll probably maybe mid February, maybe early March before I play.
You mentioned, I read in an article that recently, you mentioned, Peter, that it's actually getting more difficult as a professional golfer, because over the past few years there have been fewer tournaments and they've been in far-flung places around the world, and the cost of travel is getting more expensive as well. So it's not easy out there on tour.
You know, look, you know, the kind of schedule that I have to kind of run, or myself and Damien were running the last year or so, it was a lot of travel. At 41 and 44, you don't really get over jet lag that easily, so you know, it's just the way the world is. You know what I mean? The European tour goes from place to place to place, and if you're not in the top echelon, you know what I mean, it's a bit tougher.
Did Charlie not say we had to tighten our belts back in the day?
30 years ago, Damien. Still applies. In your own situation, obviously you're going to take up many new challenges. But over the course of your 13 seasons on tour, Damien, what would you say were the biggest changes that you encountered over that period? I'm sure lads hitting the ball 80 yards past you probably would.
Thanks a lot. Apart from the 80 yards, you know, the main thing is the game has improved, and it's gone forward every year. The players have gotten younger, stronger and better, and that's the way it should be. So if you don't move with the times, you get left behind, and the same goes for the golf industry. Whether you're retailing, amateur golf or professional golf, ladies golf or men's golf. So once it goes forward, it's in a healthy place, and that's all that really matters. And I think that us guys and women who make a living out of golf, once it's healthy, we'll all continue to make a living in the future, and with a bit of luck, we'll all keep doing it.
And what are the plans for Damien McGrane in the coming years?
It's a secret.
That's fair enough. Well, Damien, you've been absolutely wonderful to the golf writers down through the years. I know on behalf of all my colleagues, we thank you very, very much, and I'm sure we'll find out those secrets in the coming weeks and months. But thank you very much indeed, and Peter, we wish you the very best of luck for the rest of the year. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Lawrie and Damien McGrane. Well done, Damien.